Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Lechtech Musar podcast. We continue with the Pele Yoeitz. We're on page 181 in the art scroll, day 59 of Chozek. Now we're going to begin the topic of Chozek, which means fortitude, that one must constantly work on being mechazek themselves with ruchnistic strength in order to make sure that they're not only doing mitzvahs, but that they're staying away from averis. Everything that a person is expected to accomplish requires great chozek, fortitude. We want to become Talmidei Chachamim, we want to become righteous people, men, women, whatever it is. We want to be a role model. We want to be the proper Aved Elokim. We want to, as we spoke about many times, ultimately it boils down to one thing: Kirvas Elokim L'Tov, and Oisei Nachas Ruach L'Yotzrei. We want to bring divine pleasure to the Eibishter. So how do we do that? It seems so daunting. There's so much to do. There's so many mitzvahs. There's so many averis that we can't do. There's a lot going on. So what is it? It's chozek. It's every day reminding ourselves that we're here on a journey, that there's a process, that there's the ups, that there's the downs, and that not necessarily are we going to be able to conquer and reach that wholesomeness and that peak performance that we want to achieve and the accomplishments that we want to do and become the righteous person, the virtuous person, the zealous person, the big balas chesed, the big balas chesed, whatever it is that, all of those great things that we want to do, that we can't conquer it in a vacuum. We can't conquer it overnight. And that's the process of life. There's a notion out there that it's always something. We're approaching Rosh Chodesh El. We just had Tisha B'Av. After that's going to be Yom Ne'eram, and then Sukkot, and then Chanukah, and there's another Zman of Ischachus, of renewal. And we talk about how every Yontif is the greatest Yontif, how there's nothing greater than Tisha B'Av, and the Dveikus that we spoke about, that we did over here, about Tisha B'Av, and the Hashem is out of the palace, and he's on the Rechoiv and the Baal Shem Tov, and then we're going to speak about Yom Ne'eram and El, and that's Malchus. And it seems to be that it's always the time. And when is the right time? The answer is that there's no the right time. Hashem gives us many opportunities, many different gateways, entranceways into the Malchus, into the kingdom, the Platron Shel Melech. And we should never diminish, we should never push it away. Oh, it's another time. No, Hashem is giving us opportunities, golden opportunities. And what are they all for? They're for what we're speaking about over here, that Chozek Utzorech, the Chol Davar. Hashem needs us to feel that we have another opportunity, that we have the chance to regain energy, to refocus, to have that renewal. It's so important. We always need those times to increase and to recommit to the fortitude which we constantly need. So it's not, Tisha B'Av was a time, and now it's El is coming up, and then Rosh Hashanah, and then Sukkot, and Meram, and Atahorisal Das on Sukkot, and when we come to Simchas Torah, and that's the time, and then before you know it's Chanukah, and Zois Chanukah, it goes quick, it's a merry-go-round, but the answer is it's a merry-go-round of opportunities. It's a merry-go-round that we can attach ourselves and live up to the goals, the dreams, the she'ifas, the aspirations that we have for ourselves, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants us to have for ourselves, that Hashem says, Kirus Elokim L'Tov, I want to have a relationship with you. Where are you? And Hashem doesn't say, try it on a mundane, cloudy Wednesday and Thursday. Hashem says, I'm going to give you opportunities. I'm going to give you a Tisha B'Av as that opportunities. On 9 days, I'm going to give you Rosh Chodesh El. I'm going to give you all the 30 days of El. I'm going to give you Yom Ne'eram. And then I'm going to give you Sukkot, and Shmini Atzeres, Shoshana Rabbos, Simchas Torah. And then it keeps on going. Why? Not to bombard us, and not for speakers to say, this is the time. No. Each one is an opportunity. It's the most heilige time. It's the most opportune time. It's not a joke. Each time is a time to be mechazek and chozek and fortitude. Because if you don't have fortitude, we have nothing. If we have nothing to look forward to, if you have nothing, an opportunity, a yantif, a Shabbos, a moed, whatever it is, then what are we? Who are we? Hashem is giving us these opportunities in order. That we need everything in order to get to the olam asiyah of action, of execution. We need these times, and Hashem gives us these times. Why? To ultimately reach the person, the people who we want to become, who we can't become. And like we said, it's not over one night, it's not over 5 nights, it's not over a month, a year, it's a whole lifetime. And therefore Hashem gives us all these different opportunities, these times, these manim musugalim, as the Psalm called them, in order that we should be able to connect to Him and reach and get to the level of Kirvas Elokim L'Tov and maximize on our potential. Having said that, it gets hard, but we can give up. But if we don't capitalize on the times, we're going to give out on a great deal of good. There's nothing that doesn't require a lot of investment and toil. With Gashmis, we say by the sweat of your brow. The mitzvah yitzur shel adam iskabel of the ibn meaning the seitanai v'adam la'amayilu. The same thing in Ruchni is that the Yetzer Hara is always going to come and try to combat us and try to throw us down and put his leg out so we literally trip over him and we can't get anywhere. But that's why we need it's Chozek b'chozik the kind of called over. We always need to fortify ourselves with a strong hand in order to accomplish. Chizuk, three things need chizuk: Torah, Ma'asim Tovim, Derech Eretz. Torah, chizuk, Torah, Ma'asim Tovim, and Derech Eretz. Upapad mili the mitzvah kietzel leva adam ravu hu ish ki ish melchamas erekina. Specifically, when it comes to mitzvah, doing mitzvahs, the Yetzer Hara comes to us like a warrior on his, literally with vengeance, trying to fight his back. And if it's a beautiful day outside and the sun is shining and the pool is so blue and the meat is just so good and the music sounds so enticing and you want to just chill and dance and relax and eat good meat, right? How are you going to go do mitzvahs and bikr chaylim and learn Torah and go daven? How is it possible? But the answer is that a person has to be mechazik. We need to be chazak. If we're not going to gird ourselves with might and with power, then we will perish in this ruchnistic sense. Slowly but surely we're going to whittle away. On one day, the Yetzer Hara is going to say, do this, go caught up with that. Until slowly but surely, the Yetzer Hara has a very, very strategic, very sly way of moving the needle, and before you know it, Pele says you can become an Ovid of the Zar. You're going to be serving getchkas. Maybe not mamish of a zara, but gneva or shichas gilei rayas v'ashanas leikaheter gamor until guy's completely off the dark and he doesn't realize what happened, where, what. All of a sudden, I'm not wearing yarmulke, I'm not keeping Shabbos, I'm not putting on film. What happened? The answer is that if you're not constantly being mechazik yourself, if you just throw in the towel and say I'm chilling today and tomorrow and the next day and I'm not running and I'm not being mechazik myself to do mitzvahs, Pele says it's simple math. This is the path. This is the path. This is how they get there. By not fighting, by not being in it to win it, by not keeping Shvius Hashem like the summit. That's how a person is pyrikal. That's how a person throws off the yoke of Torah mitzvahs. This is the reason why the harvest has passed, the summer has ended, but we have not been saved. Because if we're not being mechazik ourselves constantly, we are going to be on the decline, and the only way to be on the incline is with constant chizik and fortitude.